Kutambua taaluma yako na kuifanyia kazi ni mojawapo ya mambo yanaweza kuletea mafanikio katika maisha yako. Hii leo katika makala ya Heart and Soul tuko kaunti ya 27, kaunti ya Uasin Gishu, Eldoret, na mgeni wangu ni mwelekezi na mwandaji vipindi kwa jina MJ Mash. Jina langu ni Hamis Omar na haya ni makala ya Heart and Soul. Moja kwa moja ningependa nianze maswali yangu. Swali la kwanza ningependa ujitambulishe wewe ni nani, maana mimi nakutambua kama MJ Mash, lakini kwa majina yako kamili na wewe ni nani hasa?
Kwa majina naitwa John Masharia Mbugua. Hiyo ndio inaleta hiyo abbreviation ya MJ Mash. M for Mbugua, J for John, and Mash is the short form of Masharia. So MJ Mash ni production assistant at NTV. That is to say just ni kama kwa producer at NTV. Yeah.
Ningependa uniambie safari yako ya uelekezaji vipindi na pengine na uandaji vipindi ilianza vipi?
Falling into journalism came as a coincidence such that it was a prayer. I just prayed and said, I'm choosing courses, whichever the course I'm granted, may the Almighty help me fit in it. I remember when I joined campus, my father was one of the people mwenye alikuwa amekataa kabisa. Amesema you have to change to BCom. Yeye anaamini accounting. So me, what I did is I told my father I had prayed about this, so let me do journalism. The first time I experienced my first camera was not in first year. After I finished my first year, I went home for a short internship, local station. That's when I realized I know nothing. Because I was like, it's a whole year, academic year. Here I am on long holiday and I know completely nothing. Which I feel ujui kitu. I meet my friends who are studying, say, to these other schools. I want to mention the name. Msana nakwambia, kuna kamera, niko na guze. It started ringing to me. When mwanafunzi wa journalism, unafaa kuwa unajua kamera, unafaa ujue. So I was really scared actually. Your curiosity kabisa na kiu. So it really arose something. Should I say ni kitu ilikuwa ni kama like nilifeel I know nothing, and me that's one thing I hate, not knowing, which was not the bad case, because by then I had a girlfriend. She had a camera, so normally she would come tunaenda photo shoot, and because alikuwa naishi a distance ile lazima travel like for 2 hours, sometimes anaachia camera na mimi, then I take now my friends home na wapeleka shoot. I won't lie, I was using automatic mode by then. Because it was a smaller camera than it was just a small camera, Canon. So when I was resuming school, pia alikuwa nafanya journalism in a different university actually, MMU, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, MMU. So what happened is nilirudi shule na akanipea hiyo kamera yake. So kurudi shule na hiyo kamera ilikuwa kwa darasa mzima ndio niko na kamera. So utaniambia kikohoa mnaitika. So these guys, what happened is that camera became the camera for the class. So luckily again at second year I met this guy. There was this new lecturer who came in. By then he was Mr. Kensimu. Right now he's Dr. Kensimu. So when he came in, he's kind of a guru guy who has been in the industry for long. So this guy helped me. I won't lie. He really helped me at a personal level, because as a class rep, you will interact with the lecturers at personal level. Na akanishika mkono and he was like, why don't you, he's that sort of a guy who won't feed you to the mouth, but he'll give you an idea and walk away. Like, why don't you do this? So nimekwambia ile kiu yenye umetoka naye nyumbani na mtu akikwambia why don't you do this, you do it. Because already nishaibishwa nyumbani, sijui kamera, sijui nini. So kuna hiyo machungu. And that's when journalism, I remember in our school tukaambiwa tutumie media lab ile education. Then kwa media lab, I believe ni Rapo. There's that technician, the guy in Kibabi University called Peter Kadimba. So nilienda kuongea naye on behalf of the class. Then with the time the guy started being my friend. And luckily enough kumbe alikuwa na hizo cameras na zimelala huko. But sasa si za journalism, hizo za education students when you want to study CIT when they reach third year. So I can say that's where I first handled my professional camera. I remember it was a Sony camera. He would send me take a pic of the events in school or two. Then again, kuna hiyo, like the lecturer will come and show you examples. He will tell you kuna kuedit. You're not even studying the course editing or the unit of editing, but anakwambia kuna kuedit video. Then I'm like, oh, pia iko kwa journalism. That's what I'm trying to show you how much I never knew about journalism by second year. So the first software he gave me, hapo sasa ndio changing point, akanipea Wondershare. Then he told me there is more professional software. So I was like, kwani is he professional? I never knew even much about software, I don't lie. So mimi sikuwa najua software ni nini. I was a joker like any other person there. So this time akanipea, I remember it was Sony Vegas. Alileta, the lecturer himself bought it. I remember it was 5,000 shillings. Alilipa mtu atuletee in a DVD from Nairobi. It was his own money. So I was seeing his passion, and when he gives me, I supply it to the entire class. So that was the first time I encountered a real professional software. I won't lie, I developed an attitude for that one. I really avoided this Sony Platinum. And it's one of the amazing things about my life, because the moment ilifika long holiday, after second year now, I got these to go to work with ITV. ITV in Kitale, that is Imani Media Industry. In their editing room, there were like almost 10 computers. The moment niliangalia all the computers in the editing room, zote ziko na Sony Vegas. Ile yenye nilikuwa natoroka shule. So I was like, this is a place I need to prove my potential. I will have to fight with it. But I won't lie, it was just an attitude, because I remember within the end of the day, I was using that software as if I've been using it for over 10 years. So when I came back to school, I had an upper hand because I was a presenter on radio. I was doing Angalia Hangout show with Antonia as a co-host, and at times playing him the DJ, at times doing voicing, because they were telling me I had an amazing voice. So I would also do the voicing. At times now I would edit, you see, I would do the production now, editing part of the production. Surprisingly, we were so many interns, but they discovered this guy is so tough in camera work. So I was like, mimi ndio chopiwa camera work hapa. So by the nobody knew, because the moment nilikuwa namaliza fourth year, I remember, no, because nilikuwa namaliza hiyo attachment, ndio some of the people were like, jamani, second year, and some of them are fourth years. And they had a problem with camera one. That was my real production, I won't lie, because I was given a program. I remember it was called Passover. So doing gospel songs. Hiyo ni kuzipanga tu mawimbo kwa timeline, una export. Make sure umeunda playlist ya next week, every evening, research on modern gospels. So I think that's why I improved my skills of researching, and because that program is running on live TV. Now an intern, second year, so you have to make sure it's running. Na huko ubembelezi ujue ulipwi, huko unakula chakula ya bure. They tell you that we're not paying you, you are eating our food. There is no program. Hii playlist tumeiona kila siku inajirudia, we need other playlists.
Ningependa unieleze kitu katika production zako. Kuna the production of documentaries, wakati tukiwa shule ulikuwa ukiproduce, alafu ningependa tuongee kuhusu the scars to stars, the award ulipokea, ile team yenu mlipokea.
Just one major thing that happened at Imani that now made me know that I have the potential is, as interns, we were told before you were given the recommendation letter, you'll have to have done one thing. Either you did a show or you do a full documentary alone. Full feature or full documentary. Feature documentary or full documentary. Fully a documentary. And I remember by then I had a friend of mine who had a needy school back in Uku, Likuyani, Matunda Uku. And I was like, I've been there previously, I've done their charity work. Mbona nisienda kufanya documentaries. I went shot that documentary. The same day I met a friend. Huyo jamaa kwenda kushoot, ni msee anapenda art. Akaniletea artist fulani juu mtu akikuona na kamera anajua mimi ni artist. Unaweza nitolee ngoma. Then I was like, Buddha, you want me to do a music video for you? Tunaweza shoot after nimeshoot documentary. So ile seriousness yenye nilireceiviwa na in that school when I was doing the documentary ndio ile ni inspire. Because waliniletea chairman wa shule, wameniletea I don't know bishop wa shule, sponsors wa shule, yeye mwenyewe anataka fanywe interview kwake, the students wameletwa hapo. So as I was talking to these kids, it's like that's where my passion arose, because these kids were so emotional. Somebody is crying of how the father abandoned them. You can imagine, na anateseka na mama yake. So amekuja hiyo needy school where they are paying, mtu analipa fee na services or items. Mtu anaweza leta kuku kesho. The next day mwingine anaweza kuja babake akuje unajua ni kuboma ama ni kumala shule, kuboma, kuweka ile matope. Yeah, ni kama kujenga tu shule. So anafanya hiyo as a way of paying fees for the kid asome huko. So it was more of a community school. So I did that documentary. So when the documentary was out, it played the first time, I started getting those phone calls. Hey, kazi nzuri nini? So I was like, wow. So, everybody, I realized now the problem is I was turning to be a threat even there. You get it? But I was okay because the head of TV, the team, some of the team members calling me go close now. They're like, this good work. Uko kijana umeiva. Uko tu sawa. Kujituma. Mimi nilikuwa najua, unajua nile, what I realized is, unaona vile waliniambia ni kujichocha by Dr. Ken that when you asked if you know, just say you know. You will know, utajulia mbele but kubali, usiweke hata ujui. That's what I used. And you see it worked. It's cool. Then when I went back to work in the evening, I took that musician, tukaenda naye. And I was like, unaona ule mtu akona confidence kwako, huyu jamaa yenyewe jamaa wako na TV station na ni Imani Radio atakuja kunishutia music video. I did that video unknowingly with like say zero skills about professionalism. So when I went back to the studio, that video I remember the next day nili spend the whole day edit your video, music video. And trust me, the video was like awesome. It really scared everybody in that media house. So Scars to Stars was more not like my story. I wouldn't own up the story. But there was this Miss Kibabi. She was supposed to do a feature for the Miss University Kenya. And because she's been my friend all since she joined university, definitely journalists also have to relate with models because of photography and media. And as a good friend, she told me, like, by then already I was working, so I want to do this documentary, and I would title it this way. So we were planning on shooting the documentary. So I tried to secure a team where she is, send them when they shoot wakarudi. So it was an inspiration story about a boy who lost both parents through HIV and AIDS. And after losing the parents, they had to undergo through trauma. How? Yeye na the other siblings walikuwa wanateseka juu society could neglect them in the name of their parents died of HIV. They are also HIV positive. You know that fear. So the boy was telling his story so emotionally that to the extent that the sister, after like a few years, the sister had to commit suicide because she could not continue living with that stigma. Yet they know they are negative. But who do you convince you're negative if both your parents died positive? All the siblings were suffering. And you know they're hustling from hand to mouth. Then this guy is here, and the worst part is he was telling us at some point he had to walk with a HIV kit, testing kit. Design. If you tell him, if he hears you guys saying and like he's HIV positive, at a test mbele yenyu ku approve wrong. So I could imagine his emotional state. So when they told me about that, that's when we came up with that title, like it's Scars to Stars. How later the guy went into music industry and is currently a musician, a very good musician actually, gospel musician. And it was supposed to be submitted, but something happened is back there. I don't know, there were a lot of hiccups hapa katikati, including the event being postponed. So all I did is later on we heard of the 7 days film festival. And when they called us in, I was like, as a company, because I'm a stakeholder at Godlight Media. It's an upcoming company. Definitely, it's a production company, yeah. As a company, we are upcoming in terms of production. I was like, let us participate in this 7-day film festival. Then I remember there's that package we had did previously, but it went nowhere. So I called on the miss, and no, actually I spoke to Anto, because you know, once you're the producer, it means you have copyright. So I told Anto, there's that story you had, can you please forward it as a student? Because I believe the competition did not need personnel from the industry. You could take like assistants from the industry, but not personnel from the industry as competitors. So Anto was our way of getting in with the documentary. And we told Anto, I want to see how best you can produce. The guy went, and I told him, now I want this shoot. I'm the one producing it in terms of I'm going to supervise it. Leave the previous one. It was basic because it's for the qualification of Miss University Kenya. But sasa sahi ni serious shoot. I went for it. So nilipeleka tu the guys, nikamwambia shoot, tumia me the clips. Hiyo ni bundles bana. Sukuma hizo clips online, review them. I would tell them script wenyewe mkiwa huko wana script. Wakileta the script, I oversee the script. So all I was doing now is like a teaching process. You're teaching them, the production team, but also you are like somehow, because unakumbuka hii competition, say hapa ni 250,000 unafaitia. You need to fit in it. So I went for it, and they submitted. It was a hectic moment because I remember it was the first award to be awarded, like and the winner is that categories. The first category to be awarded, we were the winners. Like hata tulikuwa wa kwanza ku announced, and it was an inspirational moment because nili feel, seeing that guy holding your trophy, you're like, we guys have a potential, and this is to Kibabi University. Kibabi University had a potential because it was the first time they're participating in an external event and they gave it their best.
Kuna taaluma yote ile ambayo haina challenges, haina misukosuko, pengine katika safari yako kama wewe mwelekezi wa vipindi ama mwandaji wa vipindi, maybe msukosuko, challenge yote ambayo ushaipitia?
I will say, as a producer, the biggest challenge I encounter every day is creating new ideas. You need to know new ideas, like I need to know what is happening. Mtu anaweza dhani kama mwelekezi kazi yako ni kukaa tu na chenye unaletewa kwa meza unaonyesha kwa TV. I have to be updated with news. Kwa mfano, nitakuambia kama ukiangalia masuala ambayo tumekuwa tukizingatia in my production the past like 2 weeks hadi sasa. Utarealize ni vitu zenye zina happen currently. For example, leo jioni unaweza kuta kama ili issue ya watoto wenye wameangukiwa na building. The next day unakuta nilikuwa nimeplan last week, yes, prior I would be discussing the next day hii na hii. Maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday. But now building imecollapse leo, by jioni tumepoteza wanafunzi 8 wachanga. Na the next day I'm forced now to change my topic to safety of children in school. Why? And when I change the topic, that means I need to change the guests. I need to get the right guests on set. I need to change my setup. The crew can be maintained, haina shida. I need to research more about safety, previous incidences. So now realize you have like that 6 hours to produce something that sometimes you produce 1 week. Unachukua 1 week to produce a specific show, siku fulani, but nimetumia 6 hours. That is a challenge of timely. You need to be timely with events. So you can imagine as a producer, and directors actually, we use commanding language.
Funny.
Yeah, you cannot, there's no way itakwambia ati, I don't know, nataka unitengenezee hiyo meza please. Nataka unifanyie nini kindly. I will do that when it is necessary. But normally because of the pressure, normally because of the speed, normally because it's serious business, and in media, we say TV. In TV, you don't make mistakes on air. You don't try on air. You must do it. Finely and perfection. So the moment I'm standing there and umeletewa hii team and it's new people, my friend, because interns, we have issues with them. Atakasirika the first few hours at times me I just okay, that's a challenge, but to me, being a producer and I was told it's being a commanding language. It doesn't mean I'm a commander, but I'm using the commanding language because when I tell you do this, just do it immediately. Hatuna time ya quest. Unasikia? Media is time. Time is money bana kwa TV. So that's a challenge because unakosana na watu wengi, but normally that pressure is just there, then subside. Sometimes errors, mistakes might happen. Now, I'm not a fan of mistakes actually. So it can happen, we have also the superiors, and they will just get down to you. Pap. Na si makosa yako ulifanya. It's one of the members alifanya. As a producer. So you have to carry always the burden of the team. You have always to die for them, like get crucified for them. Because at the end of the day, it's your production as a team. And who is answerable for the team? You. That's why now he becomes like a commander. So
unajua katika as a producer and a content producer na mwekezaji. Sasa tutoke mambo ya hapa kazi nje. Producers huko nje, nishapata mtu akaniambia, mimi nilikuja nikamuonesha mtu fulani in a certain media house or producer fulani mkubwa, content fulani hivi, alafu ile content after 1 week nikaona program kama ile.
Yeah, that's a nice question actually. I won't lie. Because it's happening out here. How safe? Unajua, anybody who has gone through a journalism class should be knowing what copyright is. People are afraid to come up with new ideas. Not even coming. They have a lot of ideas, but they are afraid of exposing them because wanaweza nyang'anywa. It's true, inanyang'anywa. Because kuna watu wako, this is human beings. I always tell people, don't struggle to make people understand you. Struggle to understand people. So, who are you dealing with before you present that new program to him? I did an advert for somebody at second year. It was another milestone for me because I did an advert for an entire university. Not my university actually, an entire university. Only later kupigiwa na msewa marketing kwa NTV, I remember by then. Na ananiambia bana leo unafaa unipeleke out. I'm like, why? Ati nishapea wase pesa yao. How much? 1.9. For what? I'm talking about 1.9 million. For what? The advert. That guy up to leo, by the penye yako, hata ukimpigia simu haizichukua, na ni mtu mwenye alikuwa ananipigianga niende nimpigie picha. That is second year. 1.9 M. That was so painful. I never knew what I was doing was worth that amount. Na alinunua gari mpya kama anaona hii akijua.
Nipende utoe wasia wako kwa mtu ana idea, a student has a good idea, lakini the way forward other than following a producer ambaye atari is already in the industry, ajiendelezee mwenyewe.
You're telling me any student who has an idea and wants to bring it into the industry, I won't say we are in the 21st century. We have the digital platforms. We have people making money out of the digital platforms. You've seen comedians like Njugush. Nobody has employed them. But through Instagram, through these short comedies, they're advertising. Hawana TV station, wametumia tu your social media for free. Na bundles, and they're advertising. Right? And they're earning million viewers. Watu wa matishu, companies and all that are coming to them to advertise. Coming up with your new program, I always tell people this. I always have one belief. At the end of the day, there's always that, should I say, the light at the end of the tunnel. Semanga, you humble yourself, the industry will just lift you up. You get it. For the young people, when you're on content, don't lose ideas. So, let's not have the mind of money. Me wambi watu hivyo, because that me at some point I was just doing everything for free. In school I could do documentary. I think I did every documentary.
So, wasia wako wewe, baada ya kunipa hiyo story yako yote, wasia yako upi kwa vijana na watu huko nje kuhusu swala hili la ajira?
Swali. Coming out here, I realized one thing. The industry is not demanding much. It's just demanding away from kujituma. It's demanding, like, if you cannot replace me, then why are you expecting to get a job? If you are not unique, why are you expecting to get a job? What is that you're offering the industry that those ones who are already there, Naskia, are not offering it? Why is it that there is that producer who is, leave alone a producer, production company, inatoa vipindi karibu 5. Naskia, zote zinaenda kwa national television. Wewe hujaitwa hata moja ikaenda. What is the difference between you two? Na si connection. By there I hate that idea of connection. See, so, connection. Are you that good to be recommended? You didn't connection. Are you that good? Are you relating with these people in the industry to be recommended?
Kwa hivyo mwanzo kabla ukuwe recommended, member connection, you need to show that you have the potential, put an extra effort in this industry. Ndo maybe uingie katika industry.
Yeah. Mimi nimekwambia connection means how you relate with those ones who are already in the industry. That's what connection is. How you relate. Design, you sit back this way, you just get a message. Why should you go looking for that job if they can come looking for you? Watu wanakuja kutafuta, mbona wewe unataka kutafuta? If you cannot replace those people in the industry, then why do you expect to get a job? The industry is not full. There's plenty of new ideas. Actually, one of the free industry in Kenya is media. You can even just go on social media, post something, and these guys will come pick you. If you're good, you're good. Media, by the way, inakuseparate chaff from wheat.
Hii swali nataka kuuliza, yatendeka kwa wanawake sana. Mwanamke mbele ya kioo ni mrembo, yule mtu mwingine, nishasikia story ya mtu gari limepakiwa nje hapa, pengine hapa nje ofisi yenu hapa hivi, mbea wanaji sasa, chukua funguo nikubali yeye. Na wewe wajua kwa wanaume sijui kama latendeka hivyo, ushafuatwa na mtu mwenye hela zake, mapeni yake akakuletea gari lake, akakuletea kama tour hivi nzuri, MJ kubali tu, uje tu wewe unishughulikie tu mengine nitendea, au pengine wewe ushatendea mtu.
Tunaje nikudanganya, kwanza hapo mimi sijaitendea mtu hivyo. Siwezi. Ati wao wasema niseme ukweli hapa. So, that is true. I won't lie. I've experienced it. And it should be as brief as that, whereby somebody is approaching you, but I think the only thing separating, actually I'm young, so that's the problem. I'm too young. So in terms of age and everything, only mentally, maybe I'm old, like my father says. I'm old mentally and spiritually also, growing strong. So that was the biggest hiccup I've also encountered, because when I realized to interact now, mwenye my age mate or my young people, that's a hiccup with MASH now, not just the producer. Inakuwaga hard, because whatever most of my age mates are doing, I find myself not doing them. Mona. That's the difference between Mash maybe and many. The others who I see do the same, but most of them don't do what I do. So hiyo imekuwa hiccup right from campus as I've grown through high school and what hiyo najua. So that means at the end of the day the only people I'm comfortable around are older. You get it? Yeah. Ni wakubwa. So that means there's been someone, it happened to vile umesema hivyo, but sigari hiyo ilikuwa just taking you out and stuff, na kukua that open to that end. So how do I counter that? Hutakufa, ini dunia hii kitu aishi. And plus, like I told you, I have my objective. If I gave up on all the other beautiful ones, now why should I come to take in a person who is approaching me? It's weird also. Mona. So if Mungu ata allow, in future, I'm saving all this for her. Mwenye atakuja. I'm saving all this for her. That's my point. I know my friends are thinking amini, but at least right now I'm getting the chance to say it openly. I'm saving it for her. This interview, they should watch it in future. Hata I watch in future.
Mtoto afanye journalism. Either mwanamume au msichana. Mvulana penda kudokoa, kama msichana penda kudokolewa kisa pesa tu. Ushuku, je, wewe tayari ushachukuliwa ama bado you're still a competitor in this industry?
Media people who hawadokoi, I don't know what that word means. Because they have money. They do that because, I don't know, when you get into production mostly, it was the last challenge I was to tell you, unajikuta uko peke yako. I'm thinking of settling. At times life teaches you a lesson, so you think of having this one person who you will settle with for the rest of your life. I want someday when I'll be in a TV station like this one and being asked a question like this one, I should just say, there's that common question, how long have you been? I want to say more than 2 years. So I don't want to be going there, then I'm like, do you have someone? No, I don't want to say no again. However, there's a potential in someone. God willing. Hiyo tunaachia Mungu. I know, najua sahi anaweza kuwa najua, but the thing is I can just say I'm not a saint. If I say I'm not a saint, najijua. I'm buying time. I'm going the procedural way whereby ufuate protocol. Wacha nimjue, then if it's right to mingle, koito. I don't know. Nisema marafiki yangu wote kwanza wanafaa wawe ndio mimi niwe.
Call it the challenge segment. And you vile umesema kidogo kizungu Kiswahili kutatiza, nitakupa kama a sort of a short tongue twister. Just to bring it. Wali ulio na wanawali, wasio na wali hawali.
Come again.
Wali uliwa na wanawali, wasio wanawali hawali wali.
All I'm hearing is wali. That's one word. Wali huliwa na wanawali. Wasio
wanawali.
Nice. Wali huliwa na wanawali. Wasio wanawali. Hawali wali. Oh, wali huliwa na wanawali. Wasio wanawali. Again nimejaribu.
Thank you. Shukran.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, MJ Mash at Twitter mj.mash_. Facebook MJ Mash, Instagram MJ Mash. WhatsApp napeana namba. Sawa. Karibu tena sana. Maana tukizidi uketi hapa tutaongea mpaka jioni. Hadi hapo tumefika mwisho wa makala ya Heart and Soul. Imekuwa ni mapokezi mema na mgeni wangu MJ Mash. Ningependa kukuambia please subscribe to my YouTube channel Hamis Omar for more videos. Hadi hapo, asante kwa leo.